Hello, my name is Michael Glenn, and in this episode of the Dojo Show, we're studying the kata Nichigeki. Nichigeki means attacking the sun or striking with the sun. We're doing this kata Nichigeki. Nichigeki means attacking the sun or attacking with the sun or a solar strike. Yeah. So we start off in this kumiuchi here, and Jesse comes in for a throw. I'm gonna sink my hips and look up. Okay, this arches my back to keep him from being able to throw me. So like if he tries to throw, it's impossible. Yep. By arching my back and looking up and dropping this hand down, that grounds me. Okay. So when you think about the name of the kata Nichigeki, you might think about looking up at the sun, right? That's one way to think about it. So he comes in, I arch my back, look up, turn with the shako ken there, and he falls. So looking up, shako ken, he falls here. Okay. Here, there's a lot of different restraints you can use. Okay, this is one of them. All right. So it's the most important thing in this kata is not letting yourself be thrown. Because if somebody's good at doing a seoi nage, they're fast and they'll be able to throw you. So you really need to sink your hips and ground yourself so they can't throw you. And it's even more crucial if you're smaller than your opponent, right? Because they can use sheer muscle to throw you. And so you really have to sink low and ground yourself and take the right position so they can't throw you. Just by lowering my center of gravity, it makes it really hard for him to throw me. Because when someone throws you with a basic judo throw, they're generally trying to get underneath your center of gravity, right? So the key here, you want to get low and take the right position so it's hard for him to throw you, okay? So he comes in with his throw. I lower my center of gravity here. And one thing that helps me do that is to take this arm down here. Okay? And then this hand is like on the hip. Then I just turn, and with this shako ken, you see I've already got James's balance here. I don't have to even use my hands. I just lower my center of gravity here. And I'm lined up right next to him. Okay. Then it's just a turn with the shako ken, and he's gonna fall. Okay. You can do stuff with your hands too, but if you get the basic form right, you don't even need the hands. Okay. So try a few more with that feeling, please. I was lucky enough last year in Japan to do this with like 3 different teachers in Japan, and each one presented a slightly different method of doing it. But we're gonna look at different ways. So as Jesse comes in here to do the throw, my timing here is important. Okay, see how low I get? I want to try to get lower than him. So low. The attacker's role is very important, and a lot of people don't even know how to do the throw or the attack properly. So we're going to talk about that for a little bit, and I'm going to share some details with how to do the throw. We're not judoka, so this kind of throw may not be natural for us, and it's not something that we spend a lot of time dwelling on to perfect it like a judo person would. But it's important for us to know the details because it does show up a lot in different Bujinkan kata. Jesse, please. So he's not going to try to counter this time. I'm just going to show the attacker's part, the throw. Okay? So we're in here in Kumiuchi, right? And I'm going to enter in this way. In judo or regular martial arts, people wear a gi, right? And in Bujinkan, a lot of times people don't wear gis. They wear t-shirt tops. And in real life, if you were to get into a fight, they probably wouldn't have a gi on, right? Maybe, yeah. So, yeah. Are you just throwing businessmen? So if somebody's in a t-shirt, you have to do this a little differently. So we can start off the same way, right? And one of the tricks, this is good, your position is good. One of the tricks for creating this throw to begin with is what you do with this arm, okay? So you want to lift it, okay? So you lift that arm at the beginning, and then your foot goes in here next to his foot, okay? So if I try to do this with the t-shirt, it's probably gonna rip, and I won't have the proper leverage that I need for the throw, okay? So when somebody has a t-shirt, after you lift this and enter, you let your hand slip here, okay? And there's different ways to hold the arm when you're doing this throw. That's one way I just did there, okay? Another one, so you lift this, place your foot here. You can also place the arm like that, okay? You guys understand? So the arm acts like a fulcrum underneath his arm. People, when they're doing judo meshes, they use this kumiuchi to manipulate each other with the clothing, okay? So here I want to raise his arm up before I enter, okay? If we'll talk about the gi in a minute, the lapel, but if I go for the arm one, oh boy. I just want to show you guys it's not really muscle, it's leverage, okay? So that wasn't strength on my part, that was just positioning and leverage, all right? And if I can do it to James, you guys can do it to each other, yeah? Yeah, he's not a light dude. So everybody give this a shot. This detail with the elbow. When you do the elbow, you want to lift it above your own nose. Okay. So try that. I enter in like this, right? I let him down easy there. One trick with this, when you're going to get low to do your throw, don't do it with this really wide stance. Okay, that makes the throw harder to do. So instead, as you enter in with this small stance and sink here, okay? So it's you enter your foot in next to his, and then you use that to pivot, okay? If you go with that really wide stance, it's stable, but it's also easier to be tripped, and you might struggle more trying to get him over, okay? So this small stance, you put your foot next to his, pivot to it, and then throw, okay? So explore that footwork a little bit. There's a thing that happens with the hands here, okay? This first hand, as your foot is coming in, it lifts, okay? And you want to lift that above your own nose, okay? This second hand is going to turn and make a fist. You don't want to try to do it like this because your wrist will be really weak there, okay? So instead you turn and make this fist. You see what that does to Sean already, just that part, okay? So when you do the two hands together, they have a specific motion that they make. You guys see what's happening to him here? Let me turn you to the side. So I just enter, and you see Sean's position before I've even turned my body. Okay, so the hands are going like this. Elbow, gi. It looks like I'm holding an invisible bow. Yeah. So try that with the hands and see if that helps you. You saw what it did to his body, right? Even before I pivot. Yeah, did you feel it?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it creates a leverage on his body that he's already getting trapped in. And so then when your feet turn and pivot, you have him. Okay? work with those hands. Don't even worry about the throw right now. Just get that with the hands, yeah? That's just the hands here. And it helps if they have a gi on, but you can still do it if somebody's wearing a t-shirt too. Okay? Thanks. There's an important detail here with your shoulder. If you guys, all of you have done Ganseki Nage, and one problem that happens with Ganseki Nage is people let their body get ahead of their shoulder. And when I get here, my shoulder is super weak, and I have no ability to throw him at all. Okay? So it's like the farther out your shoulder gets, the weaker it gets. So instead you want to keep it in here where you're strong. So when I'm entering in to do this throw, I don't want my shoulder to get behind my body. Okay? Instead I want to keep it connected to my body. Okay? So I keep it close here, and I keep my elbow slightly in front of my chest. If I let it get behind my chest, then it gets weak. Okay? So take a look at that, that might help. If this were a real fight, like in judo, what they do, you know, is this, they do this kind of jockeying for position, right? And trying to see who can get position on the other, right? So they sort of do this dance around. Both people are doing it at the same time to see who can get an advantage, or to see who can catch the timing to enter on the other person with a throw, right? In most real fights, you don't see two people in this grip, right? So it would be different. In a real fight, if you know, Jesse and I were fighting and he's punching, I might hit him in the face and then take that throw. Yeah. So that would be a more realistic application. You find a moment where he's vulnerable and you can take the throw, right? Hatsumi Sensei actually was a judo champion when he was young, so he learned all of these throws probably in the classical manner back when in his youth. But nowadays he doesn't really try to do them that way. He does a lot of kyojitsu when he throws, and he does more subtle things with the throws. Okay, so we're going to look at some versions that he does. You start off with this grip to the kumiuchi, to the lapel and the elbow here, right? Soke likes to mess with this grip here. So he comes across to the shoulder and then strikes with the elbow. Okay? So across to this shoulder, he usually is grabbing the other lapel and then coming up like that. And you see how this this throw can unbalance the guy just from that. One more time. So you're going from one side of his body here to the other. Okay? So you go across to the other side, there's a little elbow strike, and then you can twist and throw. Going from this lapel over to that one, and you see the impact on Sean's body. He gets used to this pulling, and there's a little resistance that happens in his body, and then I float to that one. Just in that little motion, it's upsetting his balance. Okay, so we're wrestling around here, and he gets used to that, and there's that float, that change there. Okay. So now I come up under his chin. Look at where this arm is going. Okay. All right. So here you can control the neck and the head. All right. So with the gi, you go from this side of the gi to that side of the gi. Okay. So you're here, you're messing around, you slip to that side, and you clock him here. This, you're tugging here on the lapel in kumiuchi, you float across to the other lapel. And then this arm is across the body. So I slip across to this other side here. And bring him down. Okay. And then I have this arm trapped that I can use for something else. Okay. Yeah. So slip to the other gi, clock him with the elbow. And you still have this arm. Okay. So I'm pulling here, I float to the other side. Okay. So it's regular kumiuchi here, and then it floats across. Okay. And then as you come across, your arm your whole arm braced against his body. Okay. I'm on this lapel over here and I float over to that one. Okay. As I strike here, I can come and get this arm. Okay. So I'm on that lapel, I float across to the other side. There's that strike there, and that allows me to get this arm. There's a lot of locks that you can take on this arm. Okay. There's another one that Soke shows where instead of going for the gi, the kumiuchi, you go right for the hand. Okay. So you go in to pick up the hand here to control. And you do that same kind of turn here with your body. And you can throw him that way. Right? Once more. So you go in to pick up this hand and this elbow. Okay. And then you can control him down here if you want. So I go to pick up the arm. There's that strike there. Right? Overtime. So the arm, this strike here, you could even bring him over the other side. So go for the arm. So if the guy comes in aggressively, you reflect that back to him. Yeah. You guys understand? Yeah. So you're going. It's just like picking up the arm here. This hand comes across to affect his body, and then you duck under. The footwork should be similar to what we did before with the throw before. Do you want to see that, or Jesse? No, I'm more entering. So I reach out for this arm. I enter there with this strike. This foot pivots here. Yeah, you're pivoting underneath this center of balance. It kind of has this circular, feeling like that. Just like before with the throw, we were lifting the elbow. Remember that? I'm still doing that. Okay, so I'm still lifting there. Okay, so that lift sets everything up. That circular motion. All right, so I lift. I had to let his wrist go because it was getting. Yeah. You guys understand? So it has to have that circular motion. So you can go wrist or elbow. Okay. So before I said that you look at the sun, right? Well, in this shako ken, you also make him look at the sun. See how I got him looking up, right? And then the dropping down there. I did that just on Kyusho alone, okay? I was trying to be nice to him, but you could imagine those of you who were here on Tuesday when we did the shako kens, you just drive that down into the ground, yeah? It's pretty evil. The work there? Yeah, I was pressing into the muscles here on the side of your jaw, and then the teeth, yeah. So I drop this, I look up, right? Now when I turn, I make him look up. Okay. You remember those from Tuesday, huh? You guys understand? So the name of this kata, Nichigeki, is this, using the sun to attack. And so you're using it here for yourself, and then you turn his head and make him look up at the sun. Okay, and you use both of those effects to affect him and take his balance, right? So you throw, this hand drops, this one can be in the hip. Right? See what that does to you? That's a good place to put it. And then you turn and make the guy look up. You see your balance now, so. somebody was going to come and throw Michelle, like they could do it with just strength alone, right? Yeah, even if she does this technique. So there's a kind of trick for her that she can use to prevent somebody bigger than her from throwing her. Let me show that. So as James comes in here to throw me, right, I do this first, right, that is part of the technique, but for her that might not be enough. So what she can do is do that. There's no way he can throw me now, no matter how strong he is, right? Does that make sense? So for her, she may need to increase the space there, especially if somebody's a lot bigger than her. Otherwise, what happens, like if I'm doing the technique on her, right, I come in for my throw here. It doesn't matter what she does, I'm stronger, so I can throw her, yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. So for you, you really need to, like, sink the hips, but then also increase the space. Okay. Yeah, so that can't happen so easily. Does that make sense? That's very important for when there's a size difference or a strength difference, but also a skill difference. If somebody's really skilled with seoi nage, it doesn't matter how big you are, they're going to send you on your butt. So try this again with increasing that distance a little bit. So he comes in for his throw. Can you just place it there? Oh, yeah. Right. This checks his hip to keep him from being able to turn so easily. Yeah. Okay. And that allows me to increase the distance. Yeah. Nice. He comes in for his throw here, right? I've increased this distance here. So now when I go to do the kata, I don't have to go for the face, right? I can swing this hand around and take the arm. Okay, that arm is exposed right there, so I can use it. One more time. So he comes in for this throw here. I've increased this distance, so I can come around and strike. Yeah. You guys understand? So that can be a strike. You can punch. You know, you can grab like we did on Tuesday. That arm, right? All of those things are possible right there. So he comes for his throw. I'm here. I've increased this distance, so I can grab the flesh here, right? Give him a shuto on the fall. Yeah, a lot of possibilities there. All right, if you increase that distance properly, it really exposes that arm on him for lots of things. There's even another one. So he comes in. Right, I've increased this distance here, so then I can do a type of seoi on him. Yeah, more time. So I drop here, increase this distance. That allows me to come in and do a seoi on him. Yeah. That would be like it could be a break, yeah. So you guys try this. When you increase that distance, that arm gets exposed. Okay. Go ahead. You go for your throw, right? I'm here. Yeah. So that you want to hit this arm across, like that. Okay. So I'll show you what I saw you do. So James comes in. Right. I saw you turn and go like that. Okay. Which, you know, if he stayed hanging on, it might do something, but it's not so great, right? Instead, you drop here and you go this way. Okay. Yeah.
You're actually pivoting your whole body into it,
right?
As opposed to just kind of.
So I'm striking with this part of my arm here, yeah, and I come around with my whole body. Okay. So I'll show another one that Soke does with Michelle here. Okay. So Michelle's going to try to throw me, which would be impossible, but she's going to try. So I come here, and this hand, okay, see how I move that from that side to that side? Okay. One more time. So I still do the same technique here, right? Except I'm not going to use this hand like this. One more time. Instead, I bring this hand over. Yeah. Go. So this hand just comes over. See this hand where it goes? So I can use this to strike, or to take a lock on the shoulder. Yeah. It's pretty tight, this lock. He's grabbing this elbow. This is basic kumiuchi. So I'm going to use that to move his hand where I want to move it to. Okay? See what happened? He's like choking himself, yeah? See how I move this to his shoulder here? And now I can attack or hold him up or come around for something else. A lot of options. Yeah. We're in kumiuchi here, right? So if I move my right hand, his hand comes with it. Okay, you see how it brings his hand with it? That's what I'm trying to do here. So he comes in for his throw, right? See how that brings his hand across with it. And you see his balance now. It's already way messed up. One more time. So he comes in to do the throw. Okay. So I'm bringing his hand with it. So you want to bring it to his other shoulder. So I want to bring that hand to his other shoulder. And you can start to do these kind of things, yeah. So he comes for his throw here. Move this across, and this hand is right here. Okay, so not only is it choking him, but I'm also putting a lock on it. So it's this hongyaku. Okay, so Joe's in bad shape right now. Like this is being locked on his wrist. So this is here, right? That's where you can pick this up. So this hand, I'm picking that up. It makes a hongyaku.
Oh no.
Yeah. He doesn't like it. So here I'm trying to control Jesse's arm, but also his vision. So he comes in for his throw. I'm bringing that across that way, right, to maybe pick up this hongyaku. But instead, I'm just going to pivot around on the arm. Okay. One more time. So this comes across this way here to pick that up, right? Here I can attack the face, and then I've got the arm here. Okay. So there, right? So I pick this hand up right here, right? Attack the face, and then I've got this arm here. Does that make sense? So when you attack the face, that gives you the opportunity to pivot around that arm. So here, right, this arm I'm picking up. So I attack the face, pivot around. Joe didn't want to let go with his other arm, so it changed, yeah. If he doesn't want to let go of your lapel, then things change. You okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, some people in stress situations, they grab on tighter, yeah? And so if they grab onto your lapel and they just won't let go, that may make it worse for them. So I drop here, okay? You see I've got that hand? Okay. One more time. In the basic kata, you drop here and then you attack the face, right? That's the basic kata we started with tonight. Okay, one more time. So he comes in for his throw. I drop this here. I can pick this hand up. I drop this here, okay? You can go for that hand if it's available. If it's not, you take this hand, yeah? One more time. So this hand is right here, so I can just take it. It's not an easy roll there. I got this shoulder very locked. Okay.
That's kind of weird. As soon as it goes back there, it's like...
So I do this drop down here. You see how that stick is on the leg there. Yeah. So I'm grinding that on his shin, yeah. So he's trapped. One more time, Jesse.
His shin is already like all
Sorry. He comes in for his throw. I'm gonna sink here, just like before, right? And then you can bring that across the body or the leg. Okay. Oh, should I attack his foot? Sean, once please. So he comes in for his throw. I drop here, right? Okay. So the hanbō can do a lot of things for you if you happen to have one, yeah? Or it could be a pen or a shuriken or a stick, anything you have. Keys we've talked about before, you grind those into him, yeah. So as long as you get your gravity sunk so he can't throw you, then you can do all kinds of stuff, right? Yeah, get that gravity low. This is for the counter to the throw, you know. In the counter for the throw, it's okay to get a wide stance because you're trying to get low and it makes it hard for him to throw you. So he comes in foolishly to try to throw me. You see, that's a very natural thing to happen there. Yeah. So maybe you have more than one opponent. You guys understand what I'm talking about here? So I didn't give one technique to do. You might try more than one. Just explore. So go ahead and do whatever you're going to do.
If I was like, give me that.
Yeah, so I sink, same as before. So it's the same concept.
I was curious because you know how you said it was like...
Yeah. So he's trying to take the stick and do something there. So I sink here to get his balance and prevent him from throwing me. See how I've got him here? So whatever he wants to do is worse for him. Well, if we were doing the throw,
That's
you
what
know,
I thought you were gonna
yeah, if we were doing the throw, we could do the throw like this, right?